Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome to the Fox Den. You're here with Peter Voss, the Papa Fox, and we are going to play a brand new game to the channel. This game has actually been out for quite some time. It's called The Banner Saga, and it's by Stoic. Now, this is an absolutely beautiful game, as you can see from the artwork here. It's full of a cast of extraordinary characters. There's a lot of stuff to do and see in this game. It's really interesting. It's a little bit more linear than either Tyranny or Pillars of Eternity, which is great. This will be a bit more of a quick game. We are going to play on the easy mode. Basically, the reason why I want to do this is I play these games like I want to actually play through them and enjoy them. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to get frustrated, especially since I don't have a whole lot of time to invest in the, at least at the moment, in these videos. I don't want to have to keep on re-recording, and I don't have editing software yet, so please forgive me on that. But you will get a nice walkthrough through the game. You will basically... This is more for my enjoyment as well as you all not getting frustrated with me. By reloading and reloading over and over again. So that's what we will do. Language. Oh, they have a lot of different options here. So if you want a different type of language on here, it's totally cool to do that. Yes, we want the captions. Okay, there we go. Resume. Now we are going to do a new... heraldry, which is kind of awesome, which is neat. But we are going to do a new game. Let's be about it. The gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survived through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing has stopped: the sun. Ooh. Stoic. If you can, follow them on Twitter. They're an absolutely good group of people.
Að sjá dreggjana á ferli neðanbor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds.
Now, it's useful to mention that
we have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Now, it's useful to note that not everything in this game is voice acted, so there is opportunity for a lot of reading. Oof, the animation.
Komið skjótt! Komið í höllina miklu! Gist ég leyfa oss að syngja?
There we go. Okay, right into the action. Now, this game has that scene we saw before where we have a
Þér hlut að máli þessu.
And you too. The game has three basically main sections. There's the not sections, but like modes. There's the travel mode, which we saw at the very beginning, and there's this, which is the turn-based battle mode. The last mode that they really have, we haven't come across yet, but we will shortly. So this is a tutorial for the fighting. You've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are now looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Okay. Drag around to see your... oh, yeah, there we go. Click and drag. We can see what all there is to be seen. A lot of dead people. And now we are about to come on the last line of brigands. Okay, these portraits show the order of initiative. So basically Shieldbanger, these guys are all red, we are all blue. So Shieldbanger, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and so on. So, there's that. Movement happens before action. Okay, this shows that he's active because we have him selected. Some characters fill more, as you can see, 1 square or 4 squares. Maybe even more, depending. We'll see. This does, as I mentioned here, this can have a huge impact on strategy. So, for example, if we had humans behind, we could have humans hiding behind and whatnot, and maybe come in through the cracks and whatnot. So there we go. That we'll get into later. Click to where you want them to go, and you will see the movement speed. They'll mention something about what the yellow tiles represent. So let's go ahead and get there. To target an enemy, click on him. Okay, you can either choose to attack the enemy's strength or break the armor. Basically, if you attack their armor, they take more strength damage. If you attack their strength directly, they deal less damage. And if you get them down to 0 health, they're, of course, either dead or knocked out. So we definitely want to take out the strength, because we can do that. Let's go ahead. Both health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you'll deal 2 less damage. Armor blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by a break attack. So sometimes if somebody has really high armor and really low health, you might try to do a health attack or a strength attack, but you might actually have it highly reduced. So sometimes it actually pays to go after the armor. It depends in every situation. Okay, doing that. And you get renown. He's down. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. We'll go into that later. Now, after attacking an action, your turn ends. Turns always alternate, even if you are outnumbered. So that's important to know. Despite being at full strength, yeah, okay, see, he can't do much damage against us because we have pretty high armor. Okay, yes, now it's your Warhawk's turn, but he's out of range. He's going to have to use willpower to boost their actions. It's a limited resource, so you see willpower right here. And there we go. We can move further, hit harder, perform an ability, but does not replenish unless in certain circumstances. Okay, it's going to require 1 willpower. The red pulsing tiles beneath your enemy show how close you'll have to be to get in range. So there you go. Let's go ahead and do that, and that's going to cost 2 willpower. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but special abilities is what we can do. Tempest, and that's does the whole thing. The ability description appears in the tooltips below. So, Tempest Strike. Strike adjacent enemies in a spin attack. Normal strength damage to 2 adjacent enemies, going clockwise from the target. Okay. Bam! And there he goes. Now, that made quick work of the Chieftain Bodyguard. When there is only 1 enemy left, players enter Pillage mode. During Pillage, each character moves in order. There are no more guaranteed turns. So that's also very important. Each character check initiative to see how the order has changed. Okay, Okay, if a character does not have move on... Oh, right, you can rest to regain willpower. So there we go. So he's going to rest. Is in some trouble. Your shield bearer won't be able to finish the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage. So there we go. There's that. And we can add on a single damage tick. This is basically kind of like if you are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, this is a little bit like Bardic Inspiration or something like that. So there you go. Okay. And we get a renown. More of the battle mechanics will be explained later on, so have no fear. Okay, we can continue.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade, quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
The music for this game is absolutely beautiful. Chapter 1, Only the Sun Has Stopped. Austin Wintory is responsible for the music here. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts you to the chase. This is the third mode, basically, and it's the, characters interacting and talking mode. Eric, Steward of Strand. Eric, Steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Ubin, is it? I'm just here for the tithe. I'm sure you'll get it, if not more. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. Seems a bit chaotic around here, Eric. It's been worse. We've got a lot of irons in the fire. What does he want exactly? Scalflings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Cool. This is part of the whole travel mode thing because it's all zoomed out and everything. So basically, things will you can click on locations that have little runic scripts. If you're in camp or whatnot, then sometimes characters' portraits might appear all throughout. But oh my goodness, let's just take a moment to this is just beautiful. All the detail and whatnot. Little people traveling by, things off in the distance. You'll see all your renown. You can go to options. This is the days that have elapsed. And you have days of supplies and also your morale. And this tells you how much people you have in your train. All of this is very important for this game. Choices matter, and we'll get into that later. But let's go ahead and click the market. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Had, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Scalfling's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Had. So when you tell me what, so when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. I didn't talk to... They don't talk to me. I don't have the patience for this. Had sweats visibly, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on this table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everyone thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? We'll pay him. You toss a sliver of silver on the table. Both men look at you in surprise. Had gestures meekly to a variety of junk from his stall. Take whatever you like. Only thing I'd like is the name of a place. Nobleman, up by the east wall. But that was months ago. Last I know. Had skulks away with a wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel. Disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Gunnulf. Are we done here? Gunnulf, were you wearing green back in the Great Hall? No. Just bought them while you were walking around. Why? They look good. I'm glad you care. Gunnulf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seems unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be Scalfling. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is a mead hall? Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls back in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Shouldn't we have an approach of some sort? What a luxury. Come on, you've already mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. I'll remind him. This'll be interesting. Okay, now we can go and select the mead hall. Or the mead house. I have the need for mead. That's the first dad joke of this Let's Play, so there we go. You arrive in the front of what must be Nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric, with the weather-beaten man, introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric said. Ready? Okay, let's get this over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front of the door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of a table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken Scalflings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. Okay. Here we go. Okie dokie. Okay, let's see what we have. We have Eric. Light step. He can move freely through allies, which is neat. And he also has Rally, which can give willpower to any allies in range. There's Valgard. Shield Wall adds another armor to allies and himself while adjacent to an ally. That is also very useful. Stonewall blocks damage to strength and armor for 1 round. And we have Gunnulf and the Shield Banger, which we already know about. So this gives us the opportunity to move around our guys. See, I can move them around like chess, almost. Okay, we are actually... Let's see what we are facing off against. Okay, we want them to come to us, and we're going to try to crack their formation. So we're going to grab this guy. Let's do this. We're going to want to have a strong anchor, and then we're going to try to sweep our folks around this way. Let's actually go ahead and rest. There we go. Let's see if we can move. Let's actually go over there. And turn. They're coming around this way. We are, again, going to rest. Keeping a tight formation is vital in this game, so you really don't want to move around too much, if you can, anyways. And turn. Okay. Let's see what this is going to be. That guy. Okay, and that guy. And we have our shield bearer. Okay, so let's go ahead and move him up. He's going to move here. And turn. That guy's going to go. And Eric can go, so you're going to move up here. And there we go. Let's get the shield banger up and going. And we're going to take this guy out with a strength attack. Kerblamskis. Okay. Now, see what we can do? We can pivot here. We can have Valgard come up. He still gets the stone wall. Let's go ahead with stone wall. Aha! Resisted. Resisted. Let's move up here. And we're going to take this guy out with a strength attack. Okay. Now we can take this one out with another strength attack. Okay. And Gunolf. This is actually a strategy I hadn't considered too much. Let them come through, and then our really strong guy can go ahead and take him out. Let's go with that. And we got a promotion, which is neat. See, he's trying to take down our armor. Okay. Let's go ahead up here and attack this guy. Now, I am playing on easy mode, so it's not really going to... this first fight isn't going to be too terrible. So, again, apologies for the complete and utter walkthrough on this. Okay, that's actually going to be the end of the episode. But let's see if we can get to a pause point. There we go. We got promotions and renown. Continue. Eric. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to wash off this blood. Eric is looking out the hall's window onto the bay. Windows onto the bay. A fleet of longships approach with sails of bold reds and blues. One banner I know well, Vognir. Next Varl kingship last we spoke. The other flag? Looks important. Yeah? Important guests? I see what I deal with all day long. Things make a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying, everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask for one more favor? What is it? If you happen to stall our guests down on the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustle from the mead house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. Give an apologetic shrug and go to meet the new arrivals down at the docks. Okay, so we are actually going to call this an episode here. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like or give me some feedback if you prefer. Of course, if you enjoy my other videos, then a subscription to the channel would also be most appreciated. As always, it's great to see you all here at the Fox Den. I hope you'll come back next time and pull up a chair for some more Banner Saga. Alrighty, you take care now. Bye.